The first stage. Strife in the way of the call. 3 years of secret call. It is well known that Mecca was the religious center for the Arabs and housed the custodians of the Kaaba. Protection and guardianship of the idols and stone-carved images that were honored by all the Arabs lay in the hands of the Meccans. Hence, the difficulty of hitting the target of reform and goodness in a place considered the center of idolatry. Working in such an atmosphere no doubt requires unshakable will and determination. That is why the initial call to Islam assumed a limited form so that the Meccans should not be enraged by the unexpected surprise. The early converts. The Prophet ﷺ naturally initiated his sacred mission right from home, and then moved to the people closely associated with him. He would call unto Islam whomsoever he thought would attest the truth which had come to him from his Lord. In fact, a host of people who nursed not the least seed of doubt as regards the Prophet ﷺ immediately responded and quite readily embraced the true faith. They are known in the Islamic literature as the early converts. Khadija radiyallahu anha, the Prophet's wife, the mother of the believers, was the first to enter the fold of Islam, followed by his freed slave Zayd ibn Haritha ibn Shurahbil al-Kalbi radiyallahu anhu, his cousin Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu, who had been living with him since his early childhood, his intimate friend Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. All of them radiyallahu anhum professed Islam on the very first day of the call. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu, from the first day he embraced Islam, proved to be an energetic and most zealous activist. He was wealthy, obliging, mild, and upright. People used to frequent his house and draw near to him for his knowledge, friendship, pleasant company, and business. He invited to Islam whomever he had confidence in. Through his personal efforts, a good number of people converted to Islam, such as Uthman ibn Affan al-Umawi, Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam al-Asadi, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas al-Zuhriyan, and Talha ibn Ubaidillah al-Taymi, radiyallahu anhum. Those 8 men constituted the forerunners, and more specifically, the front line of the new faith in Arabia. Among the early Muslims were Bilal ibn Rabah, the Abyssinian, Abu Ubaidah, Amr ibn al-Jarrah, from Bani Harith ibn Fihr, the most trustworthy of the Muslim nation, Abu Salama ibn Abdul Asad, Al-Arqam ibn Abu al-Arqam, from the tribe of Makhzum, Uthman ibn Maz'un, and his 2 brothers, Qudama and Abdullah, Ubaidah ibn al-Harith ibn al-Muttalib ibn Abdul Manaf, Sa'id ibn Zayd al-Adawi, and his wife Fatima, daughter of al-Khattab, whom was the sister of Umar ibn al-Khattab, Khabab ibn al-Arat, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud al-Hadali, radiyallahu anhum, and many others. These were known as the first Muslim predecessors. They belonged to various clans of the Quraysh. Ibn Hisham, a biographer, counted them to be more than 40. And considering some of them to be among the foremost converts may not be correct. Ibn Ishaq said, "Then people entered the fold of Islam in hosts,
men and women, and the new faith could no longer be kept secret.
The Prophet ﷺ used to meet and teach the new converts the religion in privacy, because the call to Islam was still running on an individual and secret basis. Revelation accelerated and continued after the first verses of
يا أيها المزمل,
O you wrapped in garments.
The verses and pieces of surahs revealed at this time were short with wonderful strong pauses and quite fascinating rhythms, in full harmony with that delicate whispering setting. The central topic running through them focused on purifying the soul and preventing the Muslims from falling prey to the deceptive glamour of life. The early verses used to give as well a highly accurate account of the hellfire and the garden, leading the believers down a new course diametrically opposed to the ill practices widespread among their compatriots. As-salah, meaning the prayer.
The order for salah was not among the early revelations. Ibn Hajar said, definitely, the Prophet ﷺ used to pray before the night journey, but it still remains a matter of controversy whether or not the prayer was established as an obligatory ritual before imposing the rules of the usual 5 prayers a day. It is related that obligatory prayer was established twice a day, in the morning before sunrise and after sunset.
It is reported through a chain of narrators that when the Prophet ﷺ received the first revelation, Jibreel, the angel, proceeded and taught him how to observe wudu. When the Prophet ﷺ finished, he took a handful of water and sprinkled it on his loins. A narration with similar meaning was recorded by Ibn Majah. Similar was reported from Al-Bara, Ibn Azib, and Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma. But in his narration, Ibn Abbas said, and that was during the beginning of its obligation. Ibn Hisham mentioned that when there was a time for prayers, the Prophet ﷺ and his companions would go into a mountain valley to pray secretly. Abu Talib once saw Allah's Messenger ﷺ and Ali praying. He asked them what they were up to. When he was informed that it was an obligatory prayer, he told them to stay constant in their practice. The Quraysh learned about the call. During this stage of the call, even though conducted in a private manner and on an individual basis, its news leaked to the Quraysh. But they paid little attention to it, since the Prophet ﷺ was not assaulting their religion, nor speaking about their gods. For 3 underground years of activism, a group of believers emerged, stamped by a spirit of brotherhood and cooperation, with one definite objective in their mind: propagating and deeply establishing the call unto Islam. For 3 full years, Muhammad ﷺ had been content to teach within a rather narrow circle. The time, however, had come to preach the faith of the Lord openly. Then revelation descended, giving Allah's Messenger ﷺ the duty of publicizing it for his people, to confront them, invalidate their falsehood, and crush down their idolatrous practices.